Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I know that I've done a little bit of everything so far. I've done comic books, I've done novels, I've done movies. Today I want to do a guide to where you should start reading Wonder Woman comic books. And the New 52 started in 2011, I think, and it was such a perfect time to start reading comic books again with some characters that I wasn't super familiar with. And one of them was Wonder Woman. So the first Wonder Woman comic I read was the New 52 run, written by Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chiang doing art, which I have to admit the art is part of what really brought me into this comic book. It's so unique. There's not really anyone else that has his style. And I did enjoy the writing, but I didn't know about the character's history before this, because this kind of was a redefining of her origin story. And let me tell you that Wonder Woman is a character that unfortunately has gotten the short end of the stick with origin stories, because, and not that she doesn't have a lot of them, it's that she has too many of them. So typically a writer, whenever a new writer comes on to a Wonder Woman comic book, she gets an origin story, which is essentially the same origin story that she's always had. The gist of it is, Wonder Woman is an Amazon, and the Amazons are a race of people that live on Paradise Island, and they are supposed to be the highest, most perfect representation of humans that there can be. The queen of Paradise Island, Hippolyta, or sometimes it's Hippolyta, I say Hippolyta. Hippolyta really wants a child of her own, because it's an island of women that are immortal, they don't have children. She longs for a child, and she forms a child from clay, and the gods bestow life upon the child. And then eventually, that child is chosen to defeat the god of war Ares, and the gods bestow her with strength, with flight, with wisdom. All of that is explained in a lot of the comic books, since there are so many origin stories. So the first origin story I read was this one, which covers her origin as it's known briefly, and then kind of twists it into a new version, which some people were not fans of. At the time, I enjoyed it, but now that I've read all of the other origin stories that there are, I don't prefer this origin for Wonder Woman as much. But with that being said, this is a great story. The whole story, this reads more like an indie comic book in that there's one issue, and that one issue is carried out through multiple story arcs. When in other big publisher comics like Batman, one story arc typically takes anywhere from 5 to 6 issues to resolve. This one, it's one issue that is kind of told long form story. And this story pretty much ends with volume number 6, I think it is. I think this is a really great jumping on point. If you've never read a comic book for Wonder Woman, this is a good jumping on point to kind of understand the mechanics of the character, like what her deal is and the other Greek gods. But to me, I don't consider this part of the main Wonder Woman story. This reads like an alternate parallel universe version of Wonder Woman. So it's fun, it's nice, I don't really have anything negative to say about it. The characterization for Diana is not perfect, but it is fun, and it overall is a good story. So this is a good place for new readers. A better place for new readers would be George Perez's run. It was collected into trade paperbacks, these are trade paperbacks for anyone that's new to comics. This is a trade paperback. This is a single. We call these singles or monthlies. It came out in monthlies, and they collected them into trade paperbacks. The trade paperbacks were not easy to find, but they did release an omnibus, which an omnibus is this size. So it's really large. Those are pretty more on the expensive side. They can range anywhere from $60 to $100. But recently, DC has been collecting a lot of different characters. They've done it for The Flash, they've done it for, who else? I forget who else they've done it for, but recently they did Wonder Woman. So this is Wonder Woman by George Perez, Volume 1. And this is in my opinion, the best origin story for Wonder Woman, because not only is it an origin story for Wonder Woman, it is also an origin story for Paradise Islands and the other Amazons. I personally, this is amazing art. I absolutely love this art. I absolutely love this. It was in the 80s. The older comics have a certain style. It goes in depth about where the Amazons came from, the gods that created them, Diana's encounter with the god of war Ares. This is amazing. This is probably my favorite book that I own right now. I absolutely love this. So if you're thinking of getting a gift for someone that loves Wonder Woman, or you really want to get into Wonder Woman, this would be the top recommendation of the entire video to get. These are about the price. Honestly, they're about the same price as this. Let's see, this cost $14.99 and this was $24.99, so $10 extra, but I also bought this on Amazon and it was $18 on Amazon. So for a few bucks extra, you get a better collection, and this is what makes a collection. This is a full collection of comics that are hard to come by. This is an A+ for me. With that being said, there are a bunch of other origin stories for Wonder Woman that you can get if this art style is not for you. Greg Rucka, who wrote another volume of Wonder Woman that I'm going to talk about a little bit later for essential reading for Wonder Woman, but Greg Rucka decided, I don't have this, it hasn't come out in a collected trade paperback like this yet, but it will be coming out, I want to say in March, or it might be coming out in May, I'm not sure. Greg Rucka decided to do a year one, which a lot of DC Comics get a year one collection. Like I have Batman's. So this is Batman Year One by Frank Miller. And the same deal is kind of going on with Wonder Woman. Year one has ended for Wonder Woman, meaning that the last issue for Year One was issue number 14, which came out a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure. I only have them in singles, but this is what it looks like. And Greg Rucka decided to go back and tell Diana's origin from, not necessarily from the moment she was created from clay, but as she's growing up and when she's called to fight the god of war Ares, this is what Ares looks like. And this is kind of what he looks like in George Perez's run too. You don't really get to see his face. But this is a great jumping on point if you don't want to read the old comics that aren't really relevant anymore because there's been a lot of changes to the DC universe. If you want to just jump right in and still get the origin covered, this is a great starting point because they're very new. The most recent issue is number 15, which will be coming out by the time this video is public. So it's really easy to collect. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 issues, which will all be collected in a trade paperback in March. So you can start getting these from your monthly comic book shop now, get the paperback when it comes out, and then you'll be all caught up. So that's a great way if you want to dive right into starting to get these. Also, there are 2 other origin stories that you can get if you don't want to start that. There is also a recent release called Wonder Woman the Legend of... no. Wonder Woman the True Amazon, which is similar to Greg Rucka's recent run on Year One. It tells stories from a young Wonder Woman and what she was like as a child. And one of those stories is actually collected in the Wonder Woman 75th Anniversary Special. So if you want to get a preview of that, they might have this at your local comic book shop. You can get a preview and see if you like it. but Wonder Woman, The True Amazon, is out now. It's a hardcover graphic novel. You just have to buy one and then you're done. Kind of similar to these, but it is nowhere near as thick as this. It's very short. Another option that I don't have here with me because it was initially released as digital comics is The Legend of Wonder Woman. This series is unfortunately canceled, but it was not canceled before they could release one origin story. Wonder Woman has a lot of bad luck with getting lots of origins and not a lot of really meaty story arcs. So The Legend of Wonder Woman was released initially digitally. They just released the hardcover collection of the origin story. It's called Volume 1 Origins. You can find it at Barnes & Nobles now. You can find it at any bookseller that sells graphic novels. Now on to some essential reading. There are only 2 recommendations I have, only one of which I have with me. The first would be, as I mentioned before, Greg Rucka did a run before he's doing the Rebirth launch. He started with Wonder Woman issue 195, I believe I might say here. Yes, issue 195. And this is another one of the Wonder Woman buy collections, you can tell by the spine. So these actually are part of the same volume. So this has issue number 1, skip a few, then this comes. This is a little bit more modern. It does not have an origin story. You can see the art is a little bit more updated than the George Perez version that I have. The great thing about this collection is it contains a graphic novel and a bunch of the single issues for Wonder Woman. So it has the Hikatea, which I have described the plot for in one of my comic book haul videos. So if you want the summary for that, you can look it up there or on Goodreads. I love this collection. This is another one of my favorites. This is essential reading. You have to read this. Greg Rucka understands the character. He understands Diana's wisdom. He understands her inner workings and what makes her a hero. This is the best characterization of Wonder Woman there is, period. This is the best origin story, then this is the best characterization that we have for Diana to date. Another very good, very well done essential reading run for Wonder Woman is by Gail Simone. That one is collected into trade paperbacks. I don't have them, unfortunately, but they're easy to obtain on Amazon. Amazon is my favorite way to receive books. So that's all for this video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more comic book related videos. I might do one of these videos for Batman because I do have a lot of Batman graphic novels. I might not cover Batman's origin as much, but it all depends on if I get any feedback from this video. Let me know if I did a good job. I'm still new at YouTube, so definitely make any suggestions down below if you think it'll make my videos better. I am definitely interested in hearing about it. So thank you again and stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a book haul for my next video. It's going to be a mini book haul, and thank you for watching.